Good evening. Today I'm going to do tarp knots part 2 and show you the rest of the knots for setting up your tarp. For this purpose I brought with me the DD Tarp. DD Tarp is a tarp from DD Hammocks, and we sell that in our web shop, and it's a very fine model. It's a 3x3 meters one. I'm now going to show you the various knots and the way it is set up. I have to go walk a bit. In part 1 we fixed the Siberian hitch. And on the other side today I used the trucker's hitch. The tarp is hanging from the center line. The center line is threaded through the 3 loops that are on the roof of the tarp. But the 2 loops that are on the edges of the tarp, on the ends of the tarp, are not threaded to the center line. You see that they are connected to a little rope that is in itself tied to the center line, and it is used to tension up the tarp. You have those on both sides, and with that you can determine the position of the tarp along the center line and make sure that everything is nice and taut. On that side you have the exact same situation. In the 4 corners of the tarp, you see that the guy lines are attached to the tarp. Even those things I usually use a Siberian hitch for. And they are tensioned by using an adjustable knot that we're going to talk to about later. So sorry for all this shaking, I'm filming this from hand. We will now start with the knot for tensioning up the tarp on the center line. Okay, the knot to attach the rope that is on the edge of the tarp to the center line and tension up the center line is called a taut line hitch. It is a very simple knot. You wind the rope a few times around the center line. Usually 3 times is enough. 3 or 4 times. Like this. Then you move it back behind this line that's going to the tarp. Over the line, and you pull a loop through it. This is like a half hitch, and you lock this. Now this knot can now slide in this direction and in that direction. When it goes in that direction, this line will get tighter and tighter, and it will lock the knot onto the center line. So when I pull this is now very tight, and this, well, was already tight. And that is the taut line hitch. It is of course a quick release, so it's very easy to remove and unwind. Okay, to tighten the guy lines of your tarp, you need also a knot that locks on the rope. Along this line here is a tent peg, and this is the end of the line of the tarp, and we need to tension this. We do this with an adjustable knot. It's called adjustable knot actually. You put it over and wrap it once around the line, twice and twice, like this. Then you wrap it around both, and pull this loop to tighten the knot. This knot can now slide and tension the rope. Also a quick release knot. So lastly, I want to discuss a situation that you will certainly encounter, and that is that you have to extend the rope because your guide line is too short or whatever. A very easy and good way to do that is the sheet bend. This is the rope I want to extend, this is the rope I want to attach to it. You make a loop and you put the other rope from the underside through the loop, and then make a loop around this loop. So this will look like this, 2 loops. But instead of putting it all the way through, you only take this bit here, this, and pull a little loop there. It is hard to say, but I hope I can make it clear by showing how this is. When I tighten this, it's really tight, and you have a longer rope. And they are easily separated again because it's quick release by pulling the loop, and it's done. Okay, I would like to conclude the series on the tarp knots by demonstrating how to pack away all the guide lines and ropes in your tarp, from your tarp, without them becoming one big knot, which will be a lot of hassle when you're trying to set up your tarp fast. I tend to use the method of winding it around my fingers. So this is the rope, putting it around my thumb and my little finger, and then I make figure 8s. Until I have only a little bit left here. Then I remove it from my hand, and the end I wind around the rope a couple of times and pull a little loop through and tighten. Now this is way better to pack, and it has a huge advantage that when you are going to set up your tarp again, you don't have to do anything. You just take the rope in your hand and pull, and it will roll off this without knots.